Hello, welcome to TCM Sunday School. Now, today we're starting a new topic. It's in the New Testament and it's in a book called Hebrews. And it's based in one chapter, chapter 11, and it's known as the Hall of Faith. This chapter is full of Old Testament Bible heroes. Now, some of their stories we know really well, and some of them not so well. But if you were to think about this Hall of Faith, I wonder what you see in your mind. I see a room, and I see in this room lots of pictures of these Bible heroes pinned up on the walls so that people can go in and look at them and be inspired by them. So I made not a very good example of what's in my head, but I made a Hall of Faith. Here it is. Okay, now on the wall here we have lots of different people. We've got Noah, we've got Abraham and Moses, Rahab, Gideon, Samson, but this one's blank. I wonder why this one might be blank. I wonder why even that the Hall of Faith is mentioned in the Bible. Well, it's there to encourage us because we can look at these Old Testament Bible heroes and we can learn from them. These were ordinary people with ordinary lives, but then God stepped into their lives and did something amazing. Now we can look at these people and we can look at them and see how God used them, and we can be encouraged because God wants to use us too. We have things that hold us back. We might be afraid. We might think we're weak. And some of these people felt those things too. But do you know what? They believed in God. They trusted in God. They had faith in God. But what is faith? Well, the Bible says, now faith is the reality of what is hoped for, the proof of what is not seen. That's the first verse in Hebrews chapter 11. It's trying to help us understand what faith is. Now, it still seems a bit tricky to understand. So I think we need to go and find someone like Milo to see if he can help us understand a little bit more about what faith is. Let's see if we can go and find him. Okay, so I found Milo again in the kitchen. He's probably been snacking. Have you been snacking? Right, so Milo, you're going to help me today to do some very special experiments. But the first thing I want to tell you about Milo is that I found out that you've got a very special power. Should we find out what it is? You don't know what it is, do you? No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, are we ready? So Milo. On here, I've got a tray and I've got a little princess. Let's just show them that. Oh, she's facing the wrong way. There she is, look. So, I want you to beckon towards you and see if you can pull her towards you without touching her. Are you ready? Okay, let's give it a go. Ready? So use your power. Oh, beckon towards you. Oh, she's moving towards you, Milo. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Let's see if you can make it go the other way by pushing her away without touching her. Ready? Have a go. Oh, she's starting to move. Oh, Milo, this is amazing. You've got a very special power. Look at that. You haven't really. Shall I let you know what I was doing? It was a magnet. See, there's a magnet and the force of the magnet sticks to the princess. So you really haven't got any special powers at all, I'm sorry. But it does help us realise what we're going to look at today, which is about different forces that we can't see. Okay, so Milo, let me just get this out of the way. We're going to do 4 experiments, okay? Because we're looking at 4 different forces. So I'm going to give you a bouncy ball And I want you just to drop it lightly, okay? And, oh my days! Okay, so, Milo, not understanding the concept of lightly, but there was a force at work because I knew, I had to duck then, because I knew that the ball was going to drop down, okay? Second experiment. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, you need to give this a blow. No, wait, that's not going to work, is it? I'll help, okay? Ready? Did you see that spinning round and I didn't even touch it? That was pretty amazing. What, you want another go? Yeah, oh yeah, you can do it with your hand, but more importantly, something I can do that you can't is make that spin. Oh, okay. I've got here something you might quite like, Milo. It's a Mr. Freeze. Apart from, it's not frozen. Okay, it's still squidgy, so you can't eat it like that. So something would need to happen to it in order to make it into one of these, an ice lolly. Something needs to happen to it. I'm going to find out what it might be in a minute. No, you can't eat it. Okay. Last experiment, a little bit concerned about this one with Milo, but we'll trust him. We'll see. Okay, so Milo, just let's get you a little bit closer because this one's an important one. It involves chocolate. Okay, and one of these. Do you know what this is? Okay, this is a hairdryer. It's going to be noisy, and Milo has got to melt this bar of chocolate using the hairdryer. Okay, shall I put it on for you? Okay, I'm not. I need to go very, very wrong. On the chocolate. Oh, on the chocolate. Thank you. Right, now. Oh, that's it, Milo. Keep going. Wow. Feeling pretty hot. Now, if I stick my fingers in there. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll turn that off now. Okay, turn it off. Turn it off. Right. Marvellous. If I stick my finger in there, oh, it's all gooey, look, it's all melted. Oh, look at that. So Milo, 4 experiments, 4 different forces at work. So, oh, that tasted really good. First force is gravity. Which experiment do you think used gravity, which means pulling down? I think it was the bouncy ball, wasn't it, Milo? Yes, it was very bouncy. Okay, next one was wind. That was when we blew onto the windmill, wasn't it? And it spun it round. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Heat. The hairdryer was pretty hot, wasn't it, when you were melting the chocolate? You did an awesome job at that one. And the last one, cold. Do you remember we had a squidgy Mr. Freeze? It would need to go into the freezer to get really cold before it would freeze to become an ice lolly. So all those experiments are going to help us look today at something very special involved with faith. And I'm going to explain that to you in just a moment. For now though, Milo, you can say bye. Okay, so looking at those forces was a lot of fun. Those 4 forces, gravity, heat, cold and wind. Can we actually see any of those forces? Can we see heat? Can we see cold? Can we see gravity or wind? Well, no, we can't. But we can see proof that they exist. The fact that the ball went really bouncy was proving that it was being pulled down by gravity. The fact that the windmill went round meant that the wind was having an effect on it. The fact that the ice lolly went hard in the freezer is proof that the cold was cold enough. And we saw the chocolate melt, but we couldn't see the heat. So these forces that we can't see, we know they exist because we see the effect that they have on an object. Now, the Bible talks about, later on in Hebrews 11, in verse 3, in fact, it tells us that creation is an effect of a force. When you look at creation, you look at maybe a beautiful sunset, or you look at little insects so busy working away, making their houses and feeding themselves. There's so many things that we can look at in creation that amaze us. In fact, they're so amazing that they can't possibly have just popped up from nowhere or an explosion made them. That doesn't make sense because creation is so amazing and so beautiful. There must have been something artistic, a creator that made these things. Now, as Christians, we read in the Bible and we believe in the Bible that the creation came about because God was at work. Now, we can't see God, but his creation is proof that he exists. Let's see how amazing creation is. I've been doing a little bit of digging and I found some quite interesting facts that will blow your mind about how clever God is when he created the world and everything in it. Okay, did you know that emus, they cannot walk backwards? Wombats have cube-shaped poop. Who knew? Here's another weird one. I'm not convinced about this one, so I'm quite happy to be put right about it. But apparently turtles can breathe through their bottoms. Butterflies can taste with their feet. Honeybees can flap their wings 200 times in just 1 second. 85%, that's a lot, of plant life is found in the ocean. If you could fly a plane to Pluto, it would take you 800 years to get there. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on Earth. Your mouth produces 1 litre of saliva a day. And if you laid end to end an adult's blood vessels, they would circle the Earth's equator 4 times. Creation is amazing, unbelievable almost. But we know that that must mean that there was a creator and that that force was God. And by believing in that, we are choosing to trust that we are having faith. It's that belief in something that we can't see, that it exists. Now, our Old Testament Bible heroes chose to have faith in God. Their circumstances were difficult perhaps, or they had big obstacles in the way, but they chose to believe in God. They chose to believe that he was big enough to overcome these things. And that's the encouragement we have from Hebrews 11. They're the things that we're going to be looking at and exploring over the next few weeks as we look at different individual stories from the Old Testament, these great heroes of faith. So I'm excited to go on that journey with you. I hope you are too. Next week we will start with our first character. So to have a little bit of fun this week, to think about forces and things that we can't see but knowing that they exist because we have proof, I thought we'd go back to the whole magnetic thing. So I have made here, look, a little obstacle course for my magnetic man to go down. So there's a zigzag like this. There we go. And then he has to do a little bit of a slalom through the dots without touching them. Oh, this is tricky. And then we've got a swirly that he has to go round. Can you see that right to the bottom? He's got to follow the swirl and then end up in the finished position. Let's see if we can. We made it. Now, what I thought you could do is you might not have these little characters, but if you've got magnets, you could make a little paper animal that you can use out of card, or you maybe got a Lego man, if you stuck him on a magnet, all sorts of ideas you could come up with to make something like this. And then you can make your own obstacle course. And if you've got someone else in the house that would like to have a go with this, you could draw an obstacle course just like we've just done, and then you can race them. So you can just repeat the pattern going down like that until you've got another obstacle course, and then you could have a race and see who wins. So have fun with that this week, but remember to think about how amazing God is, that even though we can't see him, we can know that he's real. We can know that he's there for us. So I'll see you next week. Bye.